Have you ever found yourself staring at a blank page and suddenly it feels like a test you didn't study for? Like you're supposed to perform, supposed to be brilliant, and the weight of that just locks you up? You're not alone. This video is for those of us who felt that creative anxiety creep in. The pressure to create something amazing. The fear of not measuring up. The hesitation to even begin. What we often call performance anxiety or creative anxiety can show up in all sorts of ways for us artists. As artists, we can place a quiet pressure on ourselves to be consistent, to grow fast, to somehow balance mastery with originality. And if you've spent any time on social media, you've probably felt that sting of comparison. You see someone's polished work, their steady uploads, their big audience, their exponential growth. And without meaning to, you start thinking, why am I not there yet? The worst part? Sometimes we let that pressure convince us to do nothing. We avoid the sketchbook. We distract ourselves from that painting. We push back deadlines. We procrastinate, not because we're lazy, but because we're scared. Fear is the mind killer. It is the productivity slayer. It is the art destroyer. And the longer we wait, the louder that anxiety grows. Here's the thing I've learned. You don't overcome creative anxiety by avoiding it. You overcome it by showing up anyway, deliberately, with desire, intention, and focus, regardless of how you feel in the current moment. It's not about forcing perfection. It's about building trust within yourself and with the process. It's about cultivating that self-confidence. You don't need to be brilliant today. You just need to return. You might want to simply sit there and gaze at that blank page, at the painting in progress. Be with it, absorb it, still your mind. Silence the intruding thoughts, and then begin. Think of your creativity like a relationship. If you only show up when you feel inspired or confident, it's like only calling a friend when you need something. But if you show up consistently, with patience and openness, even when it's awkward or messy, that's when something real starts to grow. The flame within once again begins to expand. Inaction compounds anxiety, but action, even small, gentle action, builds momentum. Channel your energy, focus it, breathe life into action. There's truth in the phrase, use it or lose it, but I think it's less about losing talent and more about losing rhythm, momentum, enthusiasm, and courage. Let's get back in rhythm without pushing too hard. Here are a few things that have helped me and might help you too. Lower the stakes. Tell yourself, this doesn't have to be good, it just has to exist. That one sentence can change your whole energy. Set gentle time limits. Try 20 minutes, or even 10, even 5, and yes, even 2. The goal isn't about output, it's ignition. It's tuning in, harnessing, aligning into flow. Start with play. Warm up with gestures. Doodle nonsense. Scribble. Start messy. Let the pressure fade before the real work begins. Take deep breaths. Seriously. 3 slow breaths deep into your stomach before you begin. This will help ground the nervous system and quiet that inner critic. Meditate. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Be still. Be calm. Relax. Celebrate tiny wins. Finish the sketch? Excellent. Showed up after a rough week? That's huge. Write it down. Celebrate it. Journal, as all the great artists do. Your brain needs evidence that you're making progress. Curate your inputs. Limit scrolling if it leaves you discouraged. Or follow people who share the struggles, not just the highlights. Fill your feed with inspiration, not intimidation. At the end of the day, you don't have to prove your worth through your art. You're already enough, just as you are. You are a creative being with unlimited potential. You can express that anytime you choose. But if art brings you joy, if it helps you think or heal or feel more like you, then show up for it, gently, steadily, again and again. Because every time you pick up your pencil, you're saying to the world and to yourself, I'm still here, I still care, I'm still creating. And that's powerful. You know, one other thing I've noticed, artists and athletes have more in common than we think. Top athletes also face performance anxiety. The fear of messing up, of not delivering, of failing under pressure, it's all there. But what separates the best from the rest isn't just talent, it's the way they think. They train for the moment, they trust their preparation, and when the spotlight hits, they don't focus on the outcome, they focus on the process. We can do the same as artists. Instead of obsessing over the final piece, ask yourself, can I stay present with the line I'm drawing right now? Can I stay connected to this gesture, this brushstroke, this moment? When we shift from how will this turn out to how am I showing up right now, everything softens. Getting out of your own way. Creative anxiety thrives when we live in the future. It feeds off what ifs and worst case scenarios. But when we're present, fully here, in the flow, that fear starts to lose its grip. So how do we get out of our own way? We let go of the need to impress. We make space for play. We allow ourselves to fail forward. The truth is, fear doesn't go away by avoiding it. It goes away by moving through it, one imperfect creation at a time. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to act despite the fear. And every time you show up to draw, paint, write, even when your hands are shaky, even when your mind is filled with doubt, you're choosing courage. You're reminding yourself, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm here to be honest, to show up, to explore, to express, to grow. And the more you do that, the more natural it becomes. Like an athlete training their reflexes, you're training your creative resilience. So if you've ever been feeling stuck, anxious, or afraid to begin, know this: you're not broken, you're not behind. You're just human, and you're growing. All you need to do is begin again. Start where you are, stay with it, and trust that with time, your confidence will return, quietly, steadily, and stronger than ever. If this video and message spoke to you, feel free to drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you deal with creative anxiety. And if you'd like more calm, honest videos about the artist's journey, subscribe. We're building something steady here.